Kaizer Chiefs have confirmed the departure of Tebogo Potsane. This guy pisses me off because he keeps on saying things about Chiefs and it's about time I clap back. And we're also going to talk about Baartman and Velebayi's other possibility of coming to Kaizer Chiefs, and not to mention another article that talks nonsense about Nazrat Nabi. But as I said, we are about to address all of those things. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pilo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Khosi Football Club. So we start with the story of Tebogo Potsane, who has left Kaizer Chiefs. Now, this is very interesting, right? He leaves Kaizer Chiefs and it seemed like they were keeping him, which means that it makes sense that they are making him leave because, he was injured a lot. But now the fact that they're letting him go means that they are satisfied with that position, or they have a plan for that position. In yesterday's video, I talked about the fact that Chiefs are in a situation whereby they need two signings, and one of them that I said was a goalkeeper, and it could have been a winger or a box-to-box midfielder. But the fact that they've signed Ndlovu might mean that they don't really want to sign that box-to-box midfielder, which would mean then they need a right winger because they wouldn't want to put pressure on Mfundo Vilakazi. So letting go of Tebogo Potsane is telling me that actually these guys are on some, okay, we have enough depth, or we know that we've secured enough depth in that position. And I say this because of the things that are being said now about Baartman and Velebayi. Specifically Velebayi, who can play as a right winger. So the story here with both of them is Cape Town Spurs are like, no, these boys belong to us. And then Kaizer Chiefs are like, oh, we thought they were free agents, but it's fine. We're going to let you keep them and have your issues, deal with your issues, contractual disputes between you two. But at the same time, there is a quote here by Jessica Mdown where she said that we are taking a very professional approach and we want to do everything according to the book and the law. And one of the things that have been said now, according to the latest reports, are the fact that since Cape Town Spurs developed Baartman and Velebayi, Kaizer Chiefs could be or are preparing to just do the simplest way out, which is basically play Cape Town Spurs a FIFA development compensation fee. So the FIFA compensation fee is basically a fee that is given to a club that develop players. So for example, you remember when Umtaga left the Chiefs, and also when Upuso Titejane, they left the Chiefs. Chiefs released them, but since they were developed by Chiefs, the team BTS Galaxy had to pay Chiefs 1.5 million because that's how much money it is to pay the development fee. That is why Umtaga went to Amazulu, trained with Amazulu, but couldn't play for Amazulu because Amazulu were not willing to pay that 1.5 million to Chiefs. So now Chiefs are reportedly willing to pay 3 million, which is 1.5 for Velebayi and the other 1.5 for Baartman, to basically bring the players to Chiefs. Once again, this is from kickoff for Latuma, so this could be lies, but at the same time, it would make sense why Chiefs would want to do that, because if you think about it, it will just make things much easier for Cape Town Spurs, because for a position that they're in the third division, getting 3 million rands is a lot of money for you, and it's not worth it really to keep Velebayi and Baartman if you can get 3 million rands for them. So I think that they will let them go, and maybe they might even say, okay, since we are being fair. Remember, another thing that's important about Chiefs, optics. They try to look as professional as they possibly can. So if the professional looking way, which is going to make them look like, oh wow, this team is so professional, is just basically saying, okay, we know it's not fair for us to pay, but we're going to pay so that the appearance looks like we're a very good team that is willing to spend money. Because again, remember, the longer this saga drags, the longer Chiefs are in the mud, right? Because Cape Town Spurs have nothing to lose, right? If they lose the players, they lose the players. But they will keep on making statements. Chiefs are not being fair. They are keeping our players. And whether you like it or not, when those things keep on being said, Chiefs are being dragged in the mud. And if they have a direct way of getting themselves out of this, they will by all means do it. So I think that they might do it. Which then brings us to the other topic, which is this guy. But before we talk about him, we're on 60,000 subscribers. We're trying to make it to 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I am really ambitious, so do subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Who is this guy, you ask me? This is John T. Mark, and he works for the Citizen, and he's always publishing things on purpose to piss us off. He's written so many pieces that are just negative about Chiefs, and this recent one is new season, same Chiefs, and he knows that he's fueling people who are basically not watching Chiefs play but are watching the results that Chiefs are getting. He's talking about the fact that Chiefs were playing and they were not creating chances on Saturday, like they were playing a flat game. Did you not see Chiefs hitting the post? Did you not see Chiefs dominating the whole half, attacking the other side? And obviously the final product was not that there as much in the first half as it was there in the second half. And because of that, that makes him say that Da Silva was not present in the first half. Like, he got the ball, he turned twice, and he got some chances from those opportunities. Yet you're going to say he was absent. He also continues to say that Chiefs were awarded a soft penalty. Okay, they were awarded a penalty. But now you're not being a journalist, you're just saying it's an opinion, but it's basically just a bashing of Kaizer Chiefs. I'm sick of it. And then he continues to say that Miguel missed a penalty, which he did, and then he also talks about him missing the penalty again. Can we chill up? Like, chill down, not chill up. Missing a penalty happens in football. And to those people who are blaming Miguel for missing a penalty and then missing a second one, what was he supposed to do if the other people who were behind him were not confident to take penalties? If he's going to be a captain, is it not a good idea for him to lead and take a penalty? Because again, we need to stop speaking as if players are in a situation whereby, how can I say this? We need to stop speaking as though when it comes to taking penalties, for example, we speak as if taking penalties, the coach's tactics will decide who can take a penalty. But it's a player who's confident at that given moment. And I've heard this from professional players time and time again, saying that the person who was confident will take the penalty. And usually it's the players, one, with a good technique, so they'll be confident in taking a penalty. But two, it's the players like captains. It's the players who are seniors in the team who are trusted to take penalties. So imagine Monyane taking a penalty. He's new to Chiefs. He misses it. What's the first question that people are going to ask? Wow, they let a new player take a penalty before they did. So they always have something to say. So I'm not having it. I'm not having it at all. Leave our players alone. Jant Indin. Which then brings us to this one, Nazruddin Nabi. So they are talking about the fact that Silva is struggling in front of goal. In front of what goal? We've not created clear-cut chances for Silva. We can complain about creating clear-cut chances. We can complain about Silva not understanding the players he's playing with, or the players that are playing with Silva not understanding his movement yet. But we can't complain about Silva struggling in front of goal, because that suggests that he's missing chances, which is not. I understand. Number two, do Chiefs have depth in midfield? Yes, they do. They do. Like, I hear people saying Chiefs needs a 10. Sirino is a 10. Dushabalala is a 10. Chisley is a 10. Matlow is a 10. Kosimpile Ngobo can play as a 10. For the most part of his career, he's played as a 10. Okay. We go to Ama 6. If we talk about Ama 6, if we talk about people who play as defensive midfielders, Mteto is a defensive midfielder. Okay, it doesn't give us all that much. But in most of the games, you're not really going to need Mteto, except when you're playing Pirates, Sundowns, and maybe Stellenbosch or Sekukun. But for the other teams, you can play Ucele, you can play Ungobo, Ukono Samgelo Zwane. I know you don't like Zwane. Some of you. There's Mabaso. There's Undlovu who can now play that box-to-box midfield role. If they decide to keep Castillo, that's not a problem. I feel like we're sorted there. So Another thing that has been happening, we've not had a combination that it can gel in a long term. In a preseason, what we've been doing, we're trying to give all the players enough time to play. As such, we've not had a team that has played in the first half and we're like, okay, let's fix 1, 2, and 3. And we see the same combination trying to fix the mistakes in the second half. Usually we just change players, which is okay because it's preseason and we're trying to make sure that everyone gets a game time. Which brings us to the next thing. People are talking about Gaston Sereno being reduced to an impact player. Of course, Sereno's age, and he's not really been performing at a level where you can say he deserves to be starting at this level. He's still good, but not good to a level where you are saying that he should be starting matches. He can start some, but it's good. Even Chisley has not started because he's adapting. But no one is saying Chisley is struggling because he still hasn't gotten in the groove of everyone else. So I think that we should be careful with what we read and how we analyze things. Have your own brain. You are allowed to have an opinion. But if you can't substantiate your point of view, then what are we talking about? That means we're just following our emotions, and we shouldn't be following our emotions. Let's watch football and analyze it with our brains and think it through and look what's happening. And for some of you who are struggling, not struggling, you want to learn more about football and you want to look deep into the fundamentals and dynamics of the game, there is a channel called the Cutback with Umpilo that you can subscribe to. There I will be analyzing Chiefs, Pirates, and Sundowns, and I will be posting videos there starting this weekend because the MTN 8 is starting. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals Alpelumoy. Hey, I'm not on frame. Alpelumoy.